Every story has two sides. But what happens when one side is rewritten? Again and again, until truth itself begins to vanish. This isn't just a story about manipulation. It's about recovery, reflection, and the anatomy of deception. A look inside the mind of a narcissist and the heart that survived it. You're listening to Diary of a Narcissist, where truth finds its voice again.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode number 2 of the Diary of a Narcissist. Today, we're going to talk about the anatomy of deception. And I'm Liz, and I'm here joined by my co-host Jason. And we want to talk about deception. Deception is a craft. It doesn't always start with malice. Sometimes it begins with fear, with insecurity, or a desperate need to protect an illusion. But when deception becomes a habit, it turns into a weapon. Today, we're breaking down how narcissists use deception, not just to fool others, but to preserve a fragile story they tell themselves. Let's begin here. What does deception actually look like in narcissistic behavior? It's not always the big lies. Sometimes it's the omissions, the half-truths, the confusion they create on purpose. Can you relate to that, Jason, at all?
I can relate to some of it. I'm not, I don't consider myself a full-blown narcissist. Again, I just have some of the traits and I use them. But definitely I see it as like deception as like, it's like story time. You know, let's tell a story. Let's tell a story and make it believable to keep me protected from looking like a crazy person or looking like a liar or keep me out of trouble. I have some friends in the past, I'm not friends with now, they would lie like right to my face. I know they're lying. I would tell them they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
And they would look at me like I was crazy. And that would make, and this is the truth. And I won't say their names. And it's amazing how they believe their own lies. I have some guys that believe that they were in the military, and they tell people that
That's a serious thing to lie about.
Yeah, and it made me mad because I know he wasn't, and I'm like, but that just shows how sick a person could be, or it sucks that you have to be like that to get approval, even when you get caught. I did some shitty things, like a long time ago when I was a kid, not to get what I want, not realizing that I was acting out some of those traits. Like to get a girl, if she liked somebody else and I want her to like me, I would bash him, make a story up about him that he said about her and he never even said. And if she wouldn't like him, now I'm moving up a little bit. I never even felt bad about it. And now that I'm thinking about her right now, I feel like an asshole. This poor guy was doing I used to do that. Yeah, not a lot. I only did that I remember once. Who knows, maybe twice, I don't know. But I remember one time doing it. That just popped up in my head just now while I was talking about the guy being in the military. Yeah, that's my view on the deception, the story time. Let's tell some stories.
It's the mask, right? The mask is everything to the narcissist. You gotta keep up with the mask, the charming, the confidence that continues to hide shame underneath. Psychologist Dr. Ramani calls it the false self-defense mechanism. And it's how narcissists survive, but it's also how they destroy relationships as well.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying when you're looking from the other side, obviously, the other side of the me, obviously. When you look back and you start to break down your whole relationship, it's a scary thing to think how the lies, the manipulation, the deceit, it's a scary thing.
How did you handle it? How do you, when you finally found out that it was all bullshit, it was all lies, and it must have been shocking to realize to even be with someone. For me too, but we're talking about you right now, 14, whatever years it is, it's gotta be shocking. Like, wow, holy shit.
The thing is, I think it's an unfolding situation. It's not right out, you don't realize immediately. You start seeing some red flags and then some inconsistencies, and things don't make sense, but it doesn't start right away. And I know that for every narcissist, it's different. Some narcissists simply don't care about how they're perceived, not even with their spouse, and they're violent, they're aggressive. In my case, it wasn't like that. It was very hard to see. It was absolutely hard to see because for him, it was important to maintain that image even with me at all cost and at all times. There would be instances where I would have, questions like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense, but when I'd ask, it was like, "Mm, you should use your energy to build, not tear down, build up, not tear down." And so
Yeah.
I think it's a very calculated situation for the dynamic with the narcissist and the spouse or the girlfriend, the relationship there. And there's a lot of grooming happening. There is a lot of, I'm gonna mold you into what I need from you. I need you to not ask questions. I need you to be busy doing something else. And if you ask questions, I'm gonna be upset and I'm gonna give you the silent treatment and I'm going to harass you over and over with different guilt trips. And there's a moment where you just kind of give up.
Yeah.
You don't say anything anymore because that grooming takes place, but I mean, it takes a very long time. You don't even realize it's happening. So how I handle it, I don't think I did. I don't think I handled it at all. For me, everything just came at once, everything. There were lies. Yes, there were lies because like many other narcissists, they have a form of addiction, whether it's alcoholism, drugs, pornography, sex, or gambling. There is something related there. Mine was a gambling addict. And so he would lie about different things. I spend the whole day doing this and doing that and running these errands. And so when that didn't start making sense, you start to question things. But by the time you start to question things, it's too late. You're
Yeah.
you're already too deep into a situation where it's difficult to leave. In my case, I had children, 4 babies, and you question a lot of things. Is it worth it? Is it what goes on in the victim's head? It's a lot of fear, and some of it is not even our fear. It's induced. It's programmed. It's planned. So I don't think I handled it. It just came down on me. Everything was revealed at once, and I'm still handling it. I'm still going through that process of figuring what am I doing? Who am I after this whole relationship? So I'm still going through that process.
Well, the good news is take the good with the bad with the good. At least going forward, you'll be more aware now. You'll see red flags. You learned a lot from this. I know you have. The grooming part sucks. So
Yeah, and that's another thing that sucks is it's part of the aftermath. Yes, you're gonna look for red flags, but I think if you're just gonna look for red flags, regardless of anything, you're so traumatized that you can't trust. You can't trust anything anybody says. Everybody has an agenda. Everyone wants to get something out of you, and that's a horrible thing.
yeah.
How can someone live like that? For me, I have to make a choice, obviously, at some point in my life. I'm still healing and I just began that journey. And I know that it'll come a point in my life where I have to make the choice of, you know what? I can't be scanning everybody to find whether or not they're being real or not. People have to carry their own karma and their wrongdoings will be taken care of. I know that I'll get there at some point.
You
Right
will.
now, yeah.
You'll get there. It's fresh, still fresh and new for you. So once you start healing, you'll start being able to forgive and feeling better. It's going to take time. Everybody's different.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I wanted to ask you some questions because I wanted to know more about what deception looks like on your side of the mirror. When you think back to your most deceptive moments, what was usually driving the lie? Was it fear? Was it control? Was it survival? Was it all?
For me, it's probably control. I know control. I'm a huge control freak. I know that I am. I don't show it today. I am still today. I just don't. I'm aware of it today, so I don't show it as much as I did when I was younger or a few years ago because I would act out in anger. Don't get what I want. I would kick and scream like a little boy, little baby. And it's embarrassing when I think about it and look back. It's very embarrassing. At work, not getting what I want, not getting to go where I want, do what I want, eat what I want. It was just, it's like a weakness, not getting what you want and then acting out like that. It's just, so yeah, that's how, just being not in control for me. For me, it was control. And I'm sure I've done it out of fear sometimes too. You know what I mean? I'm sure I have. I can't think of any right now because I mainly control. I know I'm a control freak.
When you think about people finding out the truth about yourself, what were you more afraid of? Was it just being caught in the lie, or was it people seeing you for who you truly
People
were?
seeing who I truly was. I was ashamed of who I was. I wasn't successful. I didn't have money. I wasn't the guy that just the person that a woman didn't want to be with. I had this outlook on what a man should be then, not today. Successful, rich, good looking. Great at a huge book reader. Girls love that stuff. A very funny guy, dresses well. Great at sex. I suck at sex. I suck at dressing well. My jokes aren't even funny. And, so I hated who I was. So I did what I can to be that man. So it was fear of looking at me, who I really was, and I'm not saying that no one's ever said that about me. Those things that I was thinking about me. Well,
It
Heather
was your
says I'm a horrible
internal.
dresser. She says I'm a horrible dresser. That I hear that all the time. So I always have to, before I leave the house, is this okay? And it's always no. I always got to change something. So, but yeah, it was always my head, the little demons whispering in my ear, you suck at this, you suck at this. So now I gotta figure out what I can do to hide that. I was very ashamed of who I was.
What was your go-to tactics when the truth threatened to come out? Because a lot of narcissists, they gaslight, they project, they deflect. What was your go-to?
Deflect, or you're being negative. I get defensive real fast. That was it. Defense, instant defensive. And I
Wow.
was fast. My mouth is quick. So I'm not, I talked my way out of it probably 99% of the time my entire life. I always figure out how to talk my way out of that lie. And I'm not saying they didn't believe me still, or they didn't believe the lie. They might not have, but they didn't show it. They just either blew it off or they believed me.
Wow.
Yeah.
So back then, if you think about what you thought about honesty, what did that feel to you? Did you feel weak if you were honest? Do you think it was dangerous, pathetic? Like, what was your feelings about being honest, just being honest?
Now, so we know we're talking about being honest. I mean, being honest about there's different parts of being honest about doing the right thing. That's the easy part, being honest. Oh, I gave that guy, did you give that guy $10? Yeah, I gave him $10. That's different honesty. Honesty, that was hard for me in the beginning of this whole me growing from recovery. Now listen, this is all from back in my mid-20s to my mid-30s, trying to be comfortable with who I was. So lying, that's what we're talking about again. Lying, I'm all over the place.
Honesty, what that felt like
Honesty
for you, what you thought
to
about
be.
that back then.
So when I started being honest with myself, it wasn't a good feeling. I didn't like the way I felt of who I really was. I didn't like it. But then I learned that I can grow from it. And again, being honest, unless you're ready to change or grow to be a better man or woman, you're not gonna, for me, I knew I wasn't gonna start being honest. But when I started noticing the changes of me being a better person and not hurting people, and that's what I wanted, I truly want to stop hurting people and myself, I had to be honest. And today, I can tell you right now, I don't lie about nothing. I don't bullshit about nothing. The only time I'm lying is when I'm telling a joke. That's the time you'll get me to lie about something. I don't act out at all. Nothing like I used to today. I won't.
And I
I'm an
mean,
open book.
right. And I mean, I we all lie about things. Obviously, we don't go out in the world with the flag about anything personal that's happening to us. I mean, we're getting very personal here, but I mean, we all lie. We all lie about different things. But when you talk about lies that can potentially destroy people's lives, you're talking about a whole different thing. Because I was told many times, oh, come on, it's not like you don't lie. It's not like you never lie about something. And yes, I have kids. Tooth Fairy comes every time, you know, there's
That's
Santa.
different.
There's
That's
all the
different though. Yeah.
well, that's what
I
I
get
mean. But that's what I mean. Like, yeah, we all lie, you know. Like, I'm not talking about destroying someone's life.
or
That I
like
can say, right,
you're right, like that. You're right. Cause I do know Brody, my son.
right.
Or hey, you look good today. You know, I have to you know, I'm just being nice. Those lies, I look at them like I'm just giving a compliment. I'm trying to make somebody feel better. But you're right, yeah. I mean I lie. I guess I lie those lies.
I think it
But I'm not
goes
doing it to hurt anyone.
right. I think it's a healthy spectrum, right? It's
Yeah.
like, and we need to know the boundary between a healthy lie, something that it's pleasant, and then if I
Yeah.
cross this line, it's going to hurt somebody. It's
Yes.
going to hurt me, and it's going to hurt somebody else. So I think it's awareness of where that line lies and just not going over that.
Healthy lies.
I suppose healthy lies.
Healthy lies.
Lies that will get you in trouble, lies
Yes.
that would make somebody feel good about themselves. And sometimes when you practice that, I feel, you know, we were talking about that last episode, giving more compliments. And
Yes.
we don't have to lie when you give a compliment. Sometimes we actually mean it, right?
Yeah.
Me at church, I love seeing everybody at church. I go to church and oh, you look lovely today. Because I actually think they do. The way you read the scriptures today was beautiful. There is this lady. I want her to narrate one of my books. She has this beautiful voice, and I love listening to. I could listen to her if she did a Bible study with me. I would just sit there and listen to her voice. It's so soothing, and she does it so patiently and so carefully. And I love giving her compliments. It's not a lie. You
Yeah.
learn to the healthy boundary.
Yep.
But let's move on to our next segment. Let's talk about the layers of the lie. Do you think narcissists actually believe their own lies at some point?
I'm sure they do. I've never believed any of my lies. I know 3 guys that are severely 4 guys that are severely narcissistic. I know they are. And I know 2 of them for a fact believe their lies because I would pull them aside after getting tired of hearing it. Like it gets annoying. Sometimes, you know, in the beginning, it's kind of funny. It's like, is he really saying this? Is he really saying that he used to save children over in Iraq and he had to kill people
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right. I pull him aside after like a couple months of hearing it at work. And I'm like, you got to listen. There's nothing. If you need to talk to me about something, nobody here is going to judge you. And I laid it all out. Exactly. I don't want to sit there and go detail what I talked to him about, but I laid it all on the table. And he's like, no, I'm good. Everything's good. I'm like looking at him. I'm like, wow, this is serious. And I remember walking away going, this guy's gone. He's fried. So I seen, and there's another one too that was like that. I don't want to tell his story because I don't want anybody to know who I'm talking about. But his other one was really sick, really like should be locked up sick. Yeah, I definitely never believed many of my lies, but there was a small handful of men out there that I seen that like telling the story. And it's a good story. And it's like, wow, that's a good story. But you know, it's bullshit. And to come up with that every day, a new story, it's got to be a lot of work. So
Right.
I think everybody's different. There's different levels for sure.
It's interesting that bothers you because, sorry, my kids get
No,
in
you're
here.
okay. It's okay.
Close the door, please. It's interesting that bothers you when you saw deception being done by other narcissists, because I'm sure there are many ways you were deceptive as well, but bother you. And I think that's the fact that you're not a full blown narcissist. You know, you were able to see how that dynamic was between the people that were listening to the lies and the person who was telling the lies. Did
Yeah.
that bother you because you saw yourself in them somehow?
No, it bothered me because it was like nonstop. Nonstop. It was like always bullshit. Between pulling pictures up on your phone, this was me. And I'm like, let me see. I'm like, the guy's a mascot, so you can't tell. That was me. Some guy holding a gun in the woods, in the swamps. I'm like, it's not even you.
Wow.
We all knew it wasn't you.
So
Like,
that went like deep into...
deep, and it was like nonstop. So it gets annoying after a while. It's like, when are you going to stop with the bullshit? Like I said, it was entertaining for a while. And then it got to be like, me and my friends, we still talk about the guys that used to work for me. They'll come over to my house on the weekends and we'll sit here and be like, hey, remember that story? He told this. And we'll like laugh our balls off. This guy writes stories. And I always said they should write books. The way you tell a story, you
Yeah.
could write a book.
Yeah, that's a certainly talent.
Yeah.
It can be
Man,
monetized. It could be monetized.
my God, the imagination just, I had a great imagination too, but it's just hard for me to talk about what's going on in my head. It's
Do you
crazy.
ever, Jason, do you ever consciously use truth as a weapon? Mixing lies with truth to make it more believable? Because, for the victim, that is...
Like exaggerating. You mean exaggerating the truth?
No. Like in my case, there will
Yeah.
be small fragments of truth and then lies. And that was essentially created so that I'm confused. Is it true or is it not true? Wait, that did happen, but then this doesn't. You know what I mean? You're mixing lies with truth to make it
Yes.
more believable and kind of also to back up your story. Like, you're mixing.
Of course, I've done that.
You
Yeah.
have done that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. A lot too. Got to back up
wow.
this. How else am I going to back up the story?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I got to back it up. I got to come on a good backup plan here.
Some of your buddies, they would just plainly lie. That was not
They would
even.
show me. They would show me pictures.
There were not fragments of truth. 1 second,
Yeah.
please, sweetheart.
Yeah, you're good.
Right now, I'm doing the show. Can you please go back out? Thank you. Hug time. Thank you. I love you. Okay. Thank you. All righty. Okay. Super giant hug. Okay. Now, please. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Why are you sorry? Don't be sorry.
For the people who are watching, I have 4 kids, and they're very attached. I'm home all the time with them, and so this is new. We just started this podcast, so this is new for them, and they're curious. So I apologize. Bear with us.
No apologies.
It'll grow old in them. So anyway, let's get back to it. Did you ever notice when someone started doubting themselves because of your words?
Yes.
So you realized that...
I realized the damage I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do that. I didn't act that way to intentionally. And I know this for a fact, so I would reflect on it. Am I that evil? I never intentionally bash them or belittle them to have them permanently feel like crap or scar them. I only did it for the moment, for me to get what I want in the moment, not realizing I'm breaking these people. Yeah, I was talking to Heather about this last night. And it's funny because she didn't know, because she brought up to me, she goes, I forget how we got on the topic, but we got on the topic. She's telling me her past, her childhood. It was pretty bad. And we fight, and I used to use that and flip it on her and throw it in her face. And I said, when you used to tell me your past, I never clicked in my head to say, I'm going to use this against her. She goes, no. I go, no. I go, what kind of man do you think I am? I go, I know it's evil and I was a dick. When someone tells me something, it doesn't go in the box memory where it says, save that. I'm going to use that as a weapon later. Not once ever in my entire life I have ever felt like doing that. It's just, we get in a fight and now I'm thrown in your face. And it was only with the women that I've dated, you know what I mean? For a long period of time. And it makes me sick that I was even that guy. Because someone's opening up to you because they have nobody to talk to. And then I just crushed that with some words coming out of my mouth. And I'm not proud of that at all. There's nothing that, So I'm glad me and her talked about that last night.
It's funny. You just answered my next question, because I wanted to know how now, obviously, you're not there, but now when you reflect on your actions, and realize the way you were caused someone else to question their sanity, what that must feel like right now for you.
Even then, I didn't want to do that then. When I was just lost in my drug addiction, before I ever had therapy, before I had any help, before I even knew who I was at all, my anger had total control me then. I never wanted to intentionally make someone be scarred and be hurt over it for years. Never, not once. Overall, I know I have a good heart. I never intentionally, when I'm in a good place, I never want to hurt anybody. Even back when I was a kid, it was always my anger that it was like I was two different people. When I started getting mad, not getting what I wanted, I always acted out like this crazy person that nobody should ever be around. And that guy needs to be locked up for life. But that's the guy that does that.
Wow. What do you think the victim's silence represent? Submission or survival?
With survival, when they keep pushing, they know to just stop. And I took it as like, I know now, I know it's for survival. But then I took it as they were pushing my buttons, ignoring me, not responding, not answering my question. Like, I was evil. I was very evil.
But then it goes also to the silence towards the outside. Like for me, no one could ever imagine there was something wrong with us. Not even the people closest to us. That's not something you talk about. First of all, you grow up in that, well, at least me, you grow up in that thought. You don't air your business publicly. I have been more public now, obviously, because I realized it's my story too. It's not just their story, it's my story, and I have a right to tell it. And if my story is going to help other women or men, because there's also very narcissistic women that also hurt men, why not tell it? And so this is why kind of we we bundle here to do this,
Yeah.
but the silence goes beyond not responding to your attacks, not responding to your aggression, your guilt trips and gaslight. It goes beyond that. That's why I asked, in your eyes, the narcissist, did you think, oh, I got her. I got her under my control. She's, I've
No, when you shut down, for me, I don't know about the other, for me, it made me mad because I wasn't getting a reaction out of you. I needed a reaction.
right. Well, I've learned recently that it is true. It's not the so much wanting to make things clear for the narcissist is exactly that, getting that reaction. I'm gonna say these things to pull them some strings and see what I can get.
Yeah.
It's almost like they thrive in chaos, It's almost like you can have a normal, simple, healthy relationship where you can have communication and deal with your issues and sort through them and resolve them. No, there's so many unresolved issues. Living with a narcissist, you just can't. When I try to fix anything, it was like, why are you being so negative? Why do you have to make me feel small? Why are you attacking me? I was like, oh my gosh, I am not attacking you. I just want to get to the bottom of things so that we can actually move on. There was never that. So I don't know if for my narcissist, was it for him in his mind, was I just a submissive person or was I just surviving? I might never know. But that's why I wanted to ask you that question. What that look like for you? And let's move on to personal reflection. Is there ever a moment you got yourself mid-lie and thought, why am I doing this?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was, when I started doing that, when I was trying to change, trying to grow, and I catch myself like, what's funny? If I'm telling a story, not a story hurting anybody, say, if I'm going, this is a made up story. I was walking on the road and I'll be like, hey, yeah, I was walking on the road and I saw like $100. I picked it up. Can you believe I found $100? But literally it was like $10. I'll catch myself and be like, why did I just lie? I'll call myself up on everyone. I just lied to you. Why did I just lie? It was like $10. It wasn't 100. Like I do that today, which is funny. But as I was growing in recovery, especially for me, my mind, because after you get past, you'll never be past addiction. I'm always going to be an addict to anything that I ever touch. There's always here or here. There's no middle with me. But when I was working on myself, I'd catch myself in a lie. And I would stop and be like, why did I just do that? And then I would, hey, listen, I'm sorry. I lied about that. Or I would let it go and feel crap about it for a couple of days. I actually started feeling it. It started bothering me. And that's when I knew I had to stop doing that. I don't know when that started. Honestly, I'm a Christian, born again Christian since 2009. I noticed my life changed since I've turned my life over to Christ. But when I work on myself, I notice now if I'm doing something, the awareness, I can feel it. It's like the Holy Spirit's poking me. Stop it. You're doing it again. You're doing it again. And I listen to it now. And it's, we never like those butterflies in your stomach when you're out doing something, you're about to go somewhere, those butterflies are like, for me, don't go in there. Because every time I get those butterflies, I remember it's like it was always a bad scene after. It was always turning into a fight, an argument. And for me, that's like the gut. They always say your gut instincts tell you to listen to your gut. Don't go, but we always go. For me, it's the Holy Spirit. Don't do that. And I did it today. If I'm about to lie, or if I think I'm going to do this or lie, I get poked. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it, but I know, like you're saying, halfway through my lie or after I got through it, I looked at, why did I just do that? And I'll laugh about it and be like, no, I didn't. So
Just a
that's
habit.
where it was, yeah, it was probably just such a habit. And now it's no more at all.
How does it feel like now to not? I mean, it must be such a weight off your
It's
shoulders.
nice, man. It is, man. Again, I spoke about this on the other episode. It's just freedom. It's freedom of not worrying about anything anymore. I don't care what people say about me. I don't care what they think about me. I don't care if they think I'm a fake. I don't care if they think I'm full of shit. 'Cause I hear all the time, you're not a good Christian. Like if I'm doing something, if I act a certain way, I'm not God. I always laugh. I'm like, I'm a flawless human being. I mean, I'm a flawed human being. I'm a flawed human being who will always make mistakes. And it's like, there always somebody out there has to bash, poke. And it doesn't bother me.
Is it other narcissists in your life? Is it
You know what? It could be. It could be because I know some of them that say stuff and I hear them saying behind my back and it bothers me because they're supposed to be my friend. You're my friend. Why are you talking about me behind my back? You should be encouraging me.
right?
There's not, I encourage everyone, even my enemies. I want to see them do better. I want to see everybody succeed.
Level up, right?
Level up. Boom.
No, I know it's interesting because I heard that so many times, especially now. I hear it more often. Oh, wow, you're not forgiving me. And what's the point of you going to church? What's the point of the little book, the little good book you read?
Yeah.
What's the point? And, you're weaponizing something that is important to me. You're weaponizing truth. You're weaponizing belief and faith. That adds another layer of sickness.
Yeah.
So that's why I ask, who's selling you? Who's that coming from? Oh, you're such a good Christian, then why are you doing this? Well, we all make mistakes, obviously. I
That's
agree with
why we're
you.
Christians. We need him to, if we were as Christians, we wouldn't be Christians if we were perfect. We wouldn't need him then. We need him because we're flawed. We're always sinning.
Right. It's hard. It's hard being a Christian. It's hard because if you're a good Christian, obviously, you truly love Jesus and have taken him into your heart and he resides there. I was talking to my brother about that the other day because he was telling me this is the work that we're meant to do. To be made in his image is not just a phrase.
Yeah.
It's something we're supposed to constantly be choosing to do, to be in his image. And what that looks like, it's forgiving. Yes, understanding others. It's hard. It's hard. That constant choice, especially when you're still in the midst of that storm.
Yeah.
It's hard to mirror Jesus. It's hard to be a good Christian.
Yeah.
I wrestle with that all the time. Oh my goodness. Somebody just visited me. Nobody came to see mama. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, guys. Sorry. We have a little interlude. He's gonna come. Boy.
He sounds like me when I wanted.
Oh, there you go. He didn't get his mama. Sorry about that, guys. Where were we? Okay. What's harder? Telling the truth or facing the consequences of it?
Today, telling the truth is easier for me. Back then, I was always, this is crazy. I was always cool with the consequences. I'll deal with them. And I already knew I was
Really?
going to have consequences. I swear to God. That was just till recently,
Daredevil.
too. Only a few years ago. I've been in the pits for so many times, for so long, dug my way out so many times. I always knew I'd dig my way out. I always knew I'd lie my way out, talk my way out. I'd figure my way out. I always did. Always. And now
No,
I
I
use
read,
that.
right. I read this thing recently about Dr. Peterson. I don't know if you know, I don't know if you're familiar with him. I saw this little clip about him the other day, and he was talking about the truth, and he's saying whatever the consequence is of you telling the truth, whatever outcome, consequence, is the best thing that could ever happen. I thought about that for so long, and that is so brave. You're gonna talk about saying something, telling the truth, no matter what, no matter the consequences. People will get mad at you. People will stop talking to you. People will forget about you. You're still gonna be truthful. It takes a lot of courage to face the consequences of being honest. You know, but I guess the outcome would be people in your life that are also truthful.
Smaller,
Yeah,
smaller.
and exactly. It's a process of elimination. This is
Yep.
who I am. This is my authentic self. And if you like me, good. If not, the door is open.
See ya.
So I love that phrase, whatever the consequences are, just do it. Just face it.
Yeah, just face it. Those are fears
Right.
too. That's the one thing I'm not afraid to face my fears today. So those are fear, like in a lie. Again, I don't have to worry about that anymore, as of today. So if I tell the truth about something, usually it's not so bad where I'm going to be like, oh shit, you know? So it's just, again,
Well,
I love it. It's a
you
good
know,
feeling to be here today in my head where I am today, man. It was
right.
no more being a prisoner.
Right. Well, deception thrives in secrecy and shame. It can't survive exposure. When the truth is spoken without hate, it dismantles the illusion. What is that for you? Not now, obviously, but back then, I'm sure it was such a threat. Someone threatened to open that curtain and showing the real Jason. That might have been anxiety attack.
Anxiety. You just said it. It was scary. It was scary to real Jason to be exposed.
Right.
The Jason that's not everybody thought I was. It does. You nailed it. It was just really bad anxiety and fear from every angle.
Right. Oh gosh.
Lots of fear. Yeah. It's not a good feeling. And that's when drugs came about. That's, probably on drugs. If I wasn't, I was full of anxiety. And if I was on drugs, that's what I did to cope with it.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you were feeling pretty ashamed of what you were doing. You had to find a way to deal with that feeling now.
Covered
I
up.
guess. Yeah. Wow. Do you ever feel tempted still to deceive sometimes now that you're in recovery? You still have things are not going my way right now, but if I know that if I do this, I can get the outcome.
Never, never. I live my life. I live a clean life today. I have no reason to lie about anything or hide anything. It's a freedom. Like if I have what I used to hate, and I'm sure not just narcissist people should lie a lot. I can never leave my phone sitting up because what if somebody was calling me or texting me? My phone needed to be like this on vibrate or
Right. Oh,
silence.
right.
And when whoever I was with, needed to go on my phone to find something, I'm always like, and I got caught a lot. I got caught a lot because of my phone. A lot. And today, there you go. Scroll, read, check my deleted look at anything you want to look at. I got nothing to hide. Feels so good to just not have to worry about anything.
Wow.
I'll live longer. Not stressing out. I won't have a heart attack anytime soon. That's for sure.
Right. You know, I was I'm still married. I'm going through divorce, but in my 8 years of marriage, not once I looked at his phone. I don't know. It's just, I didn't think there was anything to look at. The deception was so deep. The lie was so big that I never thought I had to be looking for anything. There were no signs of anything, of him cheating or of him talking to anyone secretly. I wish I looked. Maybe that would have been a much shorter marriage, but then it also maybe would have meant not having all my kids. So it's kind of hard to come to terms with things that happen because in many ways you're grateful, and of course it wasn't all bad moments. It was really good moments, and that's why it made it so hard to realize because there was always the entanglement of truth and lie, attack, love, the love bombing, the attack again. It's just meant to be confused eternally. And that is so hard. I'm still dealing with the consequences of that. mentally, I'm rewired. I'm not the same person I was. I don't think that I'll ever be the same person.
No, you're strong. You're going to be a stronger person now. You won't be naive anymore. You're going to be
Yeah.
aware. You'll be more aware. It's a good thing. Listen, and I mean this. I'm not lying. You're definitely stronger. You're going to be stronger now. You have 4 kids out of it. It's a blessing. Nothing happens in God's world by mistake. I totally believe that. You know, why this happened and bad things. I can't explain those. All I know is the path we take, those are decisions. So you took that path. Now you have kids. Yes, now you got to suffer some consequences in the long run with him. But if you took another path, you might be happy right now with no consequences. And you might have kids, 1 or 2 or none. But you have these 4 kids, and they're not consequences. And you know that. We know that. I don't have
Oh
to explain that.
gosh.
So you got these kids, and they're supposed to be here. My son, I always say, my first sobriety, I know I'm off topic here, but like my first sobriety, if I didn't, I relapsed after like 5 years. And if I didn't relapse, I wouldn't have my son. Not that I had him because I was on drugs and stuff, because I started hanging out with different people that were not in recovery at all. And then nothing to do with recovery. And I never met that person who's my best friend today, who's the best thing that can ever happen for my son as a mother.
Right.
I'm not just saying that because we're talking on a podcast. Everybody knows her. Everybody knows she's an amazing person, but that would have never happened. And I have no regrets on my past. None. No regrets.
Yeah. Well, I certainly
But,
don't. I certainly don't regret my babies.
but everything,
If anything, they are my lights and my inspiration and my why. And I
yeah,
want to make life better for them for sure.
we wouldn't know each other. That's for sure. If it
Yeah. And
wasn't,
you wouldn't be my boy's
you know,
godfather.
yeah, I want to be the godfather of those 2 beautiful boys. I want to be so blessed to be the godfather of those 2 kids, man. And I'm truly blessed and grateful for
You,
that.
you, you are the best godfather to them. And I told you even when you doubted yourself and said, Me,
Yeah, because you know
I
why? I hung up the phone. I cried that day because I have a lot of people that are close to me, really close to me, and you don't know me as well as they do. And you asked me, I'm like, it doesn't hurt my feelings that they didn't, but nobody's ever asked me. And I never thought, why does no one ask me that? I never thought of me. When you ask me, that's a question that's never been asked, never been crossed my mind. It's like, well, someone asked me to be, not just one, both of them, both of your boys.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it felt really good, you know?
But now you know why. See, culturally, obviously, there's always a shock. I married to an American, and in my country, the reason why you choose a godfather or godmother, it's because you're gonna get something out of it, and it's usually monetary or political or social status.
Yeah.
For me, I never wanted to be about that. I wanted it to be about influence. I wanted it to be about an example and someone that would be there for them, the good and the bad. And if that's someone that can give them good advice at some point in life, I want them to know that they can come to you if they ever have trouble, if they ever
Yeah.
have questions, if they ever feel like they're getting off the path that I've laid for them. That's what it's about for me. And so for me, your journey is such a powerful thing, and I admire it and I respect it. And my kids will learn about that at some point in life, and I think they're going to feel the same way about me. I mean, they love you. There's no doubt about
Yeah.
that. But that's why I chose you, because there's so much essence to you. There's so much that you can one day teach them, and I'm just grateful.
Experience.
Yeah, I'm just so grateful that
It's a
you're
lot of things.
there. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
I
And
appreciate it.
yeah, and now that we're obviously unpacking and opening the pages of this crazy books of ours, I'm getting to know more about you, and that's just reiterates my decision. One day you can tell them about narcissism and lies and
Yeah.
how that would destroy your life, not just somebody else's life.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you before we close, what advice would you give to someone who is realizing they've built their life on lies but wants to change?
Especially if you didn't get caught yet. Well, obviously, you're not going to want to change if you're not getting caught. I never heard of anyone not getting caught and wanting to change unless they really hurt somebody really bad. But and you just got to open up, surrender. Hey, listen, I effed up. I lied. This is what really happened. This didn't happen. I'm not this earth. Me, I would be like, listen, I need to tell you something. I'm talking to you. I need to tell you something. I'm not the guy that you thought I was. I've been lying for a long time. I really need to work on myself, and I'm not happy with myself. This is the guy that I really am.
Wow.
And yeah, and honestly, hopefully he turns his life over to Christ, build that relationship with the Lord, not just pray, not just go to church. I love people like, oh, it's a church. Okay. Are you helping somebody? Are you donating? Are you doing anything for anybody besides yourself? Everybody wants to go to church. Nobody wants to praise the Lord and sing to him. Nobody wants to donate any money. Everybody just wants to get rich and hover and hide everything they have, and not knowing that that's his money, not yours. That's his house, not yours. And he gave that to you. He blessed you with that. So now you're just going to hog it all up. So
That's such a good point. That's interesting enough. I was watching this podcast earlier. I don't Cracks, I think it's called, the podcast. I'm not sure. It's in Spanish.
Okay.
And the host was interviewing Carlos Slim. You know who Carlos Slim is? It's I think it's the richest man in Mexico.
wow, no.
Yeah, and he was talking about wealth and how wealthy people have such a huge responsibility because their wealth, it's been entrusted to them and they're meant to do something with it, because when you go, you're not going to take it with you. And so whether that means you're going to teach somebody how to manage it, you're going to pass it on and teach that person.
Yeah.
And I thought that's such an interesting thought, because it's true. People get obsessed with accumulating things, but at the end of the day, you're not going to take it. You're going to go back just the way you came in. And I never heard of a billionaire talk about wealth like that. I actually never seen him in any interviews. And my impression is that he's very humble. He's very down to earth guy. And you're right. You have it. It's a blessing. What are you going to spread that blessing? And then the comments, some people were saying, I used to work for him. And in the company, he had a scholarship for the children of the people who worked there. And the only
That's nice.
yeah, and they were talking about how the only requirement was for them to have, over there you're rated from 0 to 10. Here is A, B, or C. And the only requirement was for them to have an A and to maintain those grades, I think, throughout the year. But they will get the scholarship. And I mean, what a wonderful way to bless his employees, supporting their children in their education. So that, again, that goes back to spreading the blessing. You've been given this money. It's for a reason. It's not just to keep it and be greedy and feel superior to others.
We're all
Which I know
equal.
you
We're all
have.
the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some are just more blessed than others. Some are, it's just, I can't explain it. I don't know, but I just know where I am today, and I know what I need to do for me. I know who I'm serving, and I know what I'm supposed to do. It's,
Right.
I need to keep serving him. One more question before you go. I want to ask you something.
Okay.
What would you tell somebody that was in your shoes now, if they were aware of it though, stuck in it right now, stuck in a relationship, married, boyfriend or girlfriend, and they were stuck in their relationship, and they start seeing these traits, start seeing that they're lying, and they're not, and they're hurt. What do you tell them to do? Or just call them out? Do you run?
No, no, no. It's such an ugly thing to realize where you're stuck in. So it's not an easy thing to do. It's often easier said than done.
Yeah.
Take your bags and go. It doesn't stop it. So I wouldn't advise that. I think I would get help. I would surround myself with a trusted circle of people who will believe my story, because someone in that situation is very likely to be doubting their whole reality.
Yeah.
And
Okay, that makes
so
sense.
so I would definitely seek help, and I would start telling my story to people I trust and make sure that they recognize the pain, the hurt, the trauma, the abuse. And I think that shifts things in your mind, because the entire time you think you're crazy. You think, well, maybe that didn't happen for real. So that would be my advice. Definitely get help in any way you can, whether it's local resources, maybe call the county's office. I don't know what that might look like wherever someone might be listening, but
Yeah.
Get help if you cannot afford it. Someone might be able to give it to you. There's dedicated groups that might offer therapy for free. There's different helplines that you can contact, and if you need to talk about what you're going through, then do that. If you go to church, talk to your pastor
Yeah.
or
Okay.
your priest. Definitely get help and know that what you are going through, it's real. It's real. The other person might be trying to tell you otherwise and making you feel like you're insane. It's not true. It's not true. What you
That's
lived
good.
is true.
I like that.
That's
That's
what I
good.
believe.
Yeah, I think that you hit that in the button there. Yeah.
Deception is never just about the lie. It's about the fear behind it. The narcissist fear rejection. The survivor fears losing love. And in that dance of fear, truth becomes the first casualty. Healing begins the moment we choose honesty. And even when it shatters the illusion for both,
Yeah.
I would say choose honesty no matter
Yep.
what.
No
Protect
matter
your
what.
and protect yourself. Protect yourself. Guys, this is the end of our episode. If today's episode resonated with you or made you feel reflect on your own story, we'd love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts or questions on Instagram or TikTok at Diary of a Narcissist Podcast. Subscribe. We're just starting. Please give us your support if this is something
Thumbs up.
that's helping you. And we're going to have a lot more, guys, because every story of healing starts with truth. And we're going to see you on our episode 3. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.